Good morning, everybody. You should be able to hear me loud and clear. I'm going to just check the mic since we've been having issues lately. I think a lot of people are going to take off today. Give me 1 second to shut this. A couple people reached out because like the mic on the videos is getting worse. I'm aware we're switching over a bunch of stuff. That's actually why I haven't been live. So we are getting there with the new system. So just FYI, that is happening. If I'm going to just start where I want to start, because I think that's the most important thing. We really have to watch this, and we have about 2 minutes before it comes out. And I'm just going to go right to it so that you guys know what you need to watch. This jobless claims number and all this data that's going to come out right before, like all this data is super important today. And we really have to watch it. So you have housing starts, but really the initial jobless claims, we really want to watch this data. And I'll just take a quick shot of it, so you can see what we're going to watch, and so that you can see it. But we really have to pay attention to this. Nothing else really matters right now except watching how this comes out, because he's going to have to explain himself today. So this is really what we're looking for. And now we're just going to watch it and see how it goes. Initial jobless claims, 248. 1956, and this is the highest estimate that we've had on the street since this started. So you're really going to want to watch how we act here. A lot of people are probably not even paying attention to this. So it's way bigger than you think it is. In my opinion, you got 30 seconds here, but it's way bigger than people think it is, because he has to go on TV today and explain why jobless claims are at these continuing claims are at a 3-year high. And he's not going to cut rates. And so he's going to thread the needle between that. And then, Trump's going to yell at him. And then, he's in a really tough spot. Like, I don't envy the guy. It's a tough spot that he's in right now, like a very tough spot. I'm not a fan, but it's got a tough job here. So we got 8 seconds before this comes out. I'm going to clean this off so that we can get ready to mark our levels. We like watching the first bar, and then going from there and really seeing what that first bar does. And so far, it seems like it seems like a non-event on it. And so we have housing starts reported down. We don't really see the stuff yet. Come on out with it. I should have the latest news. No. You're not going to come out with that number, or what are you going to do, buddy? There it is, 245, and continuing claims upticked again, and they're not dropping. So, and now the 4-week average on jobless claims is skyrocketing. So that's not great. And I'll show you that so that you can see it in a minute here. So you're back to pretty much 3-year highs, or near 3-year highs on jobless claims on the 4-week claim. So that's not great either. He's got an issue today that he's going to have to deal with. That's for sure. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So it's not so much the claims that are going to be the issue, even though you're starting to stay in that mid-20s range. What's really going to be your problem is that these 4-week averages, and like the averages in and of themselves. And I'll show you what I mean by this. Give me 1 second. I'll just screenshot it to save us time, and then I'll show you, because it is important, because he's got it. This is the question he has to answer today, and again, I just don't know how he's going to really answer that question. And let me just show you the continuing claims here. So even continuing claims, they're down, but they're still really up there. And he's going to have to really, I don't know why you're not working now. Give me 1 second. There it is. I don't know how he's going to answer it. I really don't. So it's going to be a pickle for him. Oops. So drop you there, and then we'll drop this one here as well, and then go from there. All right, and I'll move this over. So that's continuing claims, and you can see it's a little lower than the estimate, but you can see the difference in where you were to where you are now, and they're 3-year highs. This is the 4-week. And what you'll note is that the 4 weeks not dropping, it's rising, and it's been rising. And now you're back to that 23 level. And are these areas of interest that we have to worry about? Well, we need to see it drop, and it's not. And the question is, what's going to get it to drop? And I don't have an answer to that yet. I truly don't. So these are definitely things that we have to concern ourselves with and pay attention to. I'm really surprised you're not getting more of a move on that, but it could just be like, hey, let's just wait for the Fed and see what they do. From our standpoint, from a investment standpoint or a trading standpoint, there's your doji, right? 815, and then you really do anything. Now we have this 830 bar. It's just kind of bonking around. So we're probably not going to do anything until the Fed meets. We can probably go right there and say it, the undercut, and then you held, and then right here as well, obviously, is going to be that key level. And let's go through this. So I really think that they're your big ones. That range today, it's anybody's guess, man. Anybody's guess. And it's really a question of how much are you going to want to own going into Thursday as well. Like, are you going to want to own a lot of stock going into the holiday? I don't know. I don't have a clue if people are really going to want to own, how much they're going to want to own. But that's your real range today. And I think it's going to get wild. But it's only 1%. But I think we'll stay in that range for now and watch those levels. Because you got a real battle going on at this one for whatever reason. I mean, there's that 645 bar. God knows what that is, but you can see it right here. So I'm not really sure why that's the area, but that's definitely the cat's pajamas where you're fighting. And watch how you act if you come back down and go from there. And we'll see how this goes. But if we take a look at the NQ and the same thing, and see how that's going. Same exact kind of movement, but you've been holding up a little bit better, quite frankly. You have the breadth of the Nasdaq is much stronger than the S&P right now. So I think that's very important to note. You have demand there. You don't really have as much in the S&P, but here's that key level, and there's that rejection at 5 o'clock this morning of that level. You start looking at Wick City down here, and you can see that over and over and over again. I don't know. We have to do much more than just put those levels out there and watch them, and then see how you're acting at them. But they would be the ones I would watch more than this, because even when you're in this, I think you can head right up to that. But again, how big is that range today? 1.5%. How much is that drop from here? I mean, this is all very doable, man. So, I think it's going to be like that. Pardon me. If we go and take a look at the SPY and the Q, do the same exact thing to it. And I'm really surprised you're not getting way more of a move on that. But you see it right here. I mean, it doesn't really get any more obvious, does it? There's that Friday break at 8:30. And there it is, over and over and over again. So, I mean, they're really your big levels. I mean, there's some other like minor levels in here, but if you had to say like where are the big ones, I mean, you can see this as well. You've been fighting with that 600, but it's not really the level. It's really, down here. Like you don't really want to break that 595. If you can get above 603, that's like the big level for me. But that's really how I say it. I really hate the settings. I really want to get rid of this. On that. Hit it that way. And then if I went to go take a look at the Qs, we'll do the same thing. A lot of positive news on semiconductors today. I don't think that that's going to stop anytime soon. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I say it. And you can see your downward trend right here, that DTL. I mean, you're just making lower highs over and over again. You know, it seems like the gap fill is almost a just a non-starter. I just don't even see how you don't gap fill at this point. There's got to be another little level in here somewhere that's of interest right there. Maybe, not really. I'm kind of forcing that. There it is. You can say it right over and over again. You're battling that area. I always look for areas that you're battling, whatever that pain point is. And I have no idea why that is the pain point, but there it is. So it's actually today's high too, which is interesting. Or a pre-market high, right? That 5 o'clock level. So definitely worth paying attention to. What we'll do here is open this up so that we can see it and have it. Yay. And then go from there. But I do think that's super important. I do think that that is super, super important. And I definitely think it's something worth paying attention to. Let's go take a look at the bond market and see how it acted on that news. I mean, very clearly that what they're doing with bonds, but I don't know if it's going to really tell me anything till the market moves. How about TLT? Sold it down. How about the dollar? No. All right, let's take a bunch of questions. We haven't done that in some time. We keep falling behind. So, what's up, Kev? Good morning from Miami. What do you got for me? Yeah, I saw that. And, that's pretty quick to decide that everything's okay. So, I don't know. Okay. I mean, if they really think everything's okay that fast, it's like, to me, it's kind of like, wow, like that was super fast, wasn't it? I think it was. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not fast, but to me, I was like shocked at how fast they did that. Like that was super fast. And I don't know. I just, to me, it was like really, really, really fast. So, I just continue to monitor it. I don't know really what else to say to you about it. But I do think that it's definitely worth paying attention to. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how that many people die and you're done that fast. Like, I just don't know. Like, that just seems kind of crazy to me. I don't know how else to say it. I really don't. But, it's something that when I look at, something that I look at, like I wouldn't be touching this thing with a 10-foot pole. What are you going to say? It's, and this is what's so hard about trading this name, man. Like, it just doesn't do what you think it's going to do, Kevin. Like, oh, you don't have any issues? Oh, it's time to buy. Stock's down. Oh, Heathrow, the stock, we get, we have the emergency landing, stock's up. Like, it's freaking exhausting. I would tell you that right now, I don't think people have a clue. And I think that's like, if you were looking at the body and just looking at the body over and over again, you're not really going anywhere. And you're probably not going to break out of this area until you get a close either above one of two of these or below this wick. So I don't really see the sense in doing a lot there until that happens. So that's really how I see it right now and how I would focus on that. That's how I say it. And that's really what I'd be paying attention to. So we'll go from there. But I don't know, Kev. I don't know if all the names, is that the one that I would be playing with today? Probably not. Yeah, I do think we're softening. I do think that if you look at stuff like if you look at, gosh, here's my question to this. Like, what do we know? And, this sometimes it's worse than we think it is, meaning that this escalates. What do we know that everybody else doesn't know? So like when I look at names like Oxy and this kind of stuff, like I sell into this stuff. I don't buy into this stuff. So I just don't know what we know that everybody else doesn't know. And then, you accelerate last night and everybody gets excited, pardon me, and then they start buying it again last night, and now it's down even more than what they paid for it. So I'm not so sure that I need to be, up here and getting all involved, and I'm just not so sure that I need to be that guy. So I'm not really buying any of this stuff. It does move. It's worth paying attention to, but you kind of need the sell off to go from there. I'm more looking at something like the money's probably going to be made in drip, where but these things just bleed out, so it makes it super hard. The money's probably going to be made actually in like shorting Exxon, not buying Exxon. It's very clear that this stuff leaked, that this was coming, right? I mean, we can all see that, this was obviously coming. You can just say it, that they knew that they were going to do this. And you just see by the way that all these names started moving. So, someone always knows. And you can see it in here very clearly, like, oh, we got to get involved. We got to buy now, because when it happens, these names are going to go. And that's exactly what happened, right? So we can all see that it's very clear that this leaked, and this has been in the works. It wasn't like a rash decision. They knew they were going to do this. They've known for a week, at least, because you can see how these things are trading. I mean, miraculously out of nowhere, this stuff just starts getting bought. Like, okay, yeah, just out of nowhere. Sure, why not? Let's go with that. So, obviously they leaked it. Obviously they knew they were going to do it. So the question then is like, okay, so when I always look at like this energy stuff or this kind of trade, I always look at it and go like, and I think about it like this. Well, you have three people that buy a name. You have the insiders, right? Well, they're not buying now. All right, you have the institutions. Well, they're not buying now. So then you have retail, right? And then that's where you're at in the cycle. So where am I in the cycle right now? Well, this is all retail. So who's left after retail to buy? So why am I like, I want to be buying when the institutions are buying, because if I'm buying when the institutions are buying, then I have retail that's going to come in. And then by the time the insider starts selling, and then the institutions start selling, and then retail starts selling, I'm riding the wave and I'm already up more than they are, right? That's why I always say, don't be retail. So you want to be an institution. You want to think like an institution. You want to trade like an institution, not retail. So even though we are retail, but just don't be it. So when you look at stuff like that, like, do I really want to trade it? Like, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I'm not going to lie. The material thing is way more interesting, and because I don't think people get it, and I know they don't get it because I don't really fully get it yet, but I understand that you need it. Yes, we're going to be going that way, and you can see the move in this name. The question is, do I need to pay up for it? Now, with all the uncertainty in the world and all the geopolitical uncertainty, yeah, John, like, yeah, this might keep going because people didn't have this and people truly don't understand it yet. Like, yeah, you need these minerals. Yeah, we need to let them do that. There's also one of these little companies that does this, that does underwater mining, and you probably want to look at that one in the Pacific. I forget the name of it, but that one's probably going to go too. So what you need here is you need some kind of pullback. But yeah, this makes perfect sense. And that's enormous volume, like enormous. So yeah, 100% on board with that. Really like it. I think it could be absolutely huge. So yeah, I get that. I get that one and I understand it. It makes perfect sense to me. That one makes sense. Cracker Barrel, right? Is that CBRL, right? Cracker Barrel. So when you see it, you can't unsay it. So you had huge volume here, and then out of nowhere, I'm not really sure why that day. They must have said something, but you came down, tested that wick. Wick had buyers, and then you just reversed and went from there. I mean, you can try. I mean, you really don't really want to be getting involved here above that, but what you're getting is you're getting a ton of buying. And I'll tell you what you're seeing a lot of these patterns are out there, man. And did you say cup and handle? You probably already said it, right? Oh, you're calling it a bull flag. I don't care what you call it. Here it is. But there's your cup, and then there's the handle, and you're breaking out. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely there. 100% that's there. So, pay attention to that 100%. Yeah, you'd want to be all over that for sure. I think you do. I totally think you do. Something like that. That's an interesting trade because you're not going to really have to worry about much. You just put it on, leave it. Yeah, that seems to be these names, right? So that seems to be these names that everybody's short. Like the midstream names seem to be the trades. Like these guys just did a secondary, and it's not going to be, excuse my language, but it's not going to be crap for the amount of people that are short. Once I saw the secondary, I mean, it is what it is. Some people bought it, some people didn't, but I know people that bought it in the community, but you could see you just had to move so fast. I mean, you literally had to move within 2 minutes because you saw the size of the secondary and it was nothing, which means shorts are just hosed. There, it's probably going to go higher, and they're probably going to price it higher. Some like people that short this stuff, it's just so dumb. These smaller names, but like the RBNE, I think is the other one. MTR seems to be moving. It was. Where are you? You're not moving now. Oh, there you are. I gotta look at the bigger chart. So like a lot of this stuff is moving, like the midstream stuff. And I couldn't figure it out. And we figured it out this morning, why midstream's moving. It has to do with the canal. They close the canal, midstream profits the most. So, because it's especially in the US. So that's why this stuff's moving the way it is. Does that make sense to play? Is that something that makes sense? Yeah, I do. I do think that kind of makes sense to play. I do think that this makes way more sense because you have a very specific thing that people don't pay attention to, and it can do well. I wouldn't chase any of it. I'd wait for pullbacks. I mean, they're super thin names. Like when HUSA, like when this one finally prices, which will probably be tonight for Friday morning, which will be fun. Then I might look at it, again and go from there. But yeah, I mean, 100%, like you could see this drop and then you just see it like rally right back to key levels. And like you can see it like right here. And then, that was it. And you can see that your support level, like right in here for the next one. And you had another level down here that you hit, you rejected. Now you're flipping it. So, you can start marking off your levels on stuff like this. But yeah, that stuff's definitely out there. You can see how they're acting at my levels. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Say what you want. I can draw a level. All right, let's keep going. What's up? We got Journal. Thanks, Bergie. CoreWeave's just going to keep going. It's probably going to go again. Good morning from the suburbs. Good morning from Miami. Yeah, that whole space is on fire. The question is, what do you do with it? So my plan is to wait for LEU to pull back. How's that going? Not very well. Even here, like I'm looking at it and going, you're just not like every day is like, oh, here's $2. Here's $2. And I don't know that I'm getting my pullback. Maybe I get something on this news, but I'm just not getting my pullback. So it becomes a question of what do I want to do about it. This was your cleanest breakout I've ever seen. Like, oh God, I haven't seen a breakout this clean ever. Like in a long time, I should say. You literally broke out, retested for like a day, and then that was it. Then they gave you this little bar, and they popped you up. And it's like that slow creep, and now it's perfect. You can see it from here on earnings. Everybody that knew on earnings. I mean, if you bought earnings, you have a double already, which is insane. And you never broke the 12-day moving average. If you bought earnings that day, you never broke that 12-day moving average. I used a 12, a 22, and a 55. You should use what you're comfortable with. But I think that's super important. You never broke it. Oscar, you guys are crazy for that Oscar. What's up with that? Why is you guys so obsessed? You guys are as obsessed with Oscar as I am with Giselle. I don't know. I mean, do I need to buy a Black Marabuzo? Probably not. Probably don't need to rush into that. So let's go look at this Oscar. You guys just love your Oscar. Like why? Why do I have to get involved with this? Like right now? I don't see a reason to do it. I had a day trade in it. I made money. I moved on with my life. CoreWeave's just going to be a monster again. My best trade yesterday was CoreWeave. I had some really good trades yesterday, but CoreWeave was just another level. So you're seeing it all this morning. AMD, all of them. He had some really good news last night on semis. That's why. Yeah, like this is my whole point on this stuff. When I'm going out there and I'm looking at this, like this is kind of where my head is with this stuff. Like we're going higher. It just doesn't mean that we're going higher today, right? And it all boils down to the same crap, like all of it. And there it is. Like you want to just say, like I'll say it again. Like there's December 18th. You cut rates, but inflation's high and employment's good. Why'd you cut rates? I don't know. Okay. So this was literally the worst press conference like I've ever seen of a Fed chair. And what's great about it is now we go through another one with the dot plot, and he's got a lot of explaining to do. Lucy, got a lot of explaining. Anyway, so you want to watch this like very, very closely in here. I think I'm funny. And you want to watch, can you get above? It doesn't matter, man. You're going higher. Like I hate to be like that cavalier about it, but anyone that thinks that this whole AI thing is dropping and going down they're just wrong. Like, I'm sorry, they just are. And then people are going to talk about PE and stuff. Like, all right, Cisco went to an 80 PE. Yeah, did you want to buy it, or did you want to sit on the sidelines and say this shouldn't happen? Because people made millions. Left head, right, or left, right head breakout. I mean, look at this crap. Excuse my line. I'm flying on like 3 hours of sleep, so the filter's off. Just up late last night looking at charts and reading. Those internets, there's a lot on those internets. But you look at net multi-year highs, right? Crowd, all-time highs. Okay. Microsoft, all-time highs. So I'll get into this in Saturday's video. It seems like, it's so fascinating. I always watch how people look at it. I think the macro stuff's fascinating, and I cover it. But I think I put people to sleep. I think people get bored when I start showing the macro stuff on Saturdays. Like I think a little bit of it's okay, but I think when I start like diving into the numbers and tearing them apart, people are like, "Sweet Jesus, just show me a chart." It seems to be that way. But Microsoft all-time highs. But market's going lower. We're only going lower if he does something dumb, like monetary policy, but I don't think he will. Yeah, these are interesting names to cover for a sec. So. Because I don't think people are looking at these or understanding that, yeah, if the straight starts getting hosed and screwed with, they're going to buy these. They'll buy Scorpion Tanker. They'll buy TNK. There's a couple others that I don't look at. I tend to look at these. But yeah, these are setting up as if they're going to break out. FRO's Frontline, that's the other one. It's all one chart. Same superheated. Just pick your, choose your player. It's like Mortal Kombat. Just pick the one you want to use. But they're all the same. It's all the same trade, because if you shut down the straight, they're going to go through the roof. Demand's going to go through the roof for those things, and then ZIM will come in again, and I'll buy more and be victorious as always. You ever get sick of winning? I get asked all the time. No, I do not. 145. Well, I thought it was, and then I got 146. So, good morning from Houston. Good morning from Miami. Trade on, trader. What's up, Steven? All day, every day. Can't stop, won't stop, don't know how. Good morning. You talk about energy this morning. What's your opinion on MP? It's something that I don't fully understand, to be candid with you. It's just not on my radar. I'm so ingratiated in AI right now and trying to understand the agents and what companies are going to benefit greatly from it, because you're seeing a major shift in the corporations that are adapting it. And those corporations are going to benefit the most, the fastest. So that's where my head is. My head's up my butt with that stuff right now. Like, it's so like, for example, like Duolingo, right? So, and you're down $6, which is kind of awesome for me. But what's crazy about this is like when this jumped up on earnings, right? you have a situation where what took them 12 years to build, they built in 12 months with AI. Like, I don't think people get it yet. I truly think we're so far from people getting this. They're still mocking Kathy, which is hysterical to me. They don't understand she's got constraints on those portfolios, but whatever. So when I look at this stuff, that's where my head's been, right? So when I see something like this, I don't understand. I know we need these metals. Got it. Cool. I don't know how they fit into it. I truly don't yet. I understand it from that standpoint. I look at XLB, and you're not moving, but a large part of XLB is LIN, right? So that's why. If you strip out LIN, which is a huge part of it, which is chemicals, should these names be moving higher? And so one of the things I did notice, if you go and take a look at stuff like this, and copper's not going to fit in there. I don't think they do copper, right? But if you go and take a look at stuff like this, like copper, or let me see, look at me, platinum futures. Let's just see if let's do this right here. Like if you go look at platinum or palladium, right? Like these all are setting up, like all these commodities are setting up. See, my concern is that inflation is going to wind up kicking in again, but it doesn't matter. We don't have time for it. What time is it? I got a minute here and I got to go. Just going through these super quick. Good morning. Good morning, Troy. Good morning from Miami. ACHR, I like it. Shouldn't have broken 10. Good morning from Hawaii. Good morning from Miami. UNH, let's cover it. No. I think that semis in general, I just don't think people are getting it. Like I really don't. That's the day you wanted yesterday. That's what if you love this name, like we have one lady, I'm laughing because we have one lady in the room that like every time I'm like trading the video or something, she's like, I'm in arm. Where's my stop? But left, head, right, breakout. Like that's your day yesterday. You should like, there it is, man. So you just don't want to break that low, but there it is. Crowd covered. TMC, let's do it. What's up, Steve? That's a freaking monster. Are they in precious metals too? Are they? I need something else to drink, man. I started drinking this methylene blue. It's supposed to make me smarter. I just think I feel like I'm drinking freaking chalk. Is this another one of those precious metal kind of ones? Like that? Then definitely look at this. I mean, the metals company. I mean, this is the kind of thing that you're looking for. Like people, the names that like people forgot. Is that it? Is this the one that's supposed to like do underwater sea stuff? Because they're the kinds of names that are going to go. Like this is the kind of stuff that's going to like, this stuff's going to push. You're just going to have patience with it. But stuff like this is, it's this kind of stuff can really lift. So I wouldn't sleep on it. If this is something you're looking at. And because I think you're going to have to do more of that. And then on top of that, you're going to have uncertainty in the world, which is going to make him write more orders for more certainty and more domestic stuff. So oh, that's the underwater one. Got it. There it is. All right. So let me put this on my super secret list. HMRFF. Please don't be a penny stock. Please don't be a penny stock. You can make me think this morning. Please don't be a penny stock. No. Come on, man. Like, come on. Is that what it is? Because it's a pig. That's why I'm shorted. I like money. Like, why would I buy that dip? For what reason would I buy that dip? Because I don't love myself? Like, why would I buy this? Like, they have a real problem on their hands. I don't think people understand what's happening with search. I really don't. I don't think people get it yet. They're going to. You know, they need a plan. How are you going to get people to your site when all of a sudden your site's slowing down? Like, go listen to this earnings call. And you're talking to someone that owned it at 80 and loved it and thought it was going to be like, their earnings were through the roof. Like, I love this name. I was trading it. On this call, when you understood what was really happening, go listen to that conference call and you'll understand why this thing's just a pig now. Like, that's why. Like, there's no reason. Like, why wouldn't I want to short this? Like, for what reason would I want to buy with retail? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So that's why. And now you got this gravestone. So I think it's a matter of time before you're going to fill in down here. And then you're in the same situation that you've been. And this is what you're going to start getting. So they need a strategy and they don't have one. Like, how are you going to get people to your site? You know, how are you going to get them there? Circle, yeah, it's kind of beaten down. You still could be trading around on it. I was surprised that this happened the other day with Hood, to be honest, that you didn't push on the upgrades. Thanks, Steven. Homebuilders, I think 26, we're going to kill it, Homebuilders. I actually think that's going to be huge, Homebuilders. I think the TMC is something, dude. I think that's the kind of stuff you have to look at. The HIMS is definitely a cup and handle. No one's eating. Dude, you're nailing it. Like, you're nailing it. I put the drops. I'm drinking the drops right now. I just have them in water. Maybe I'm putting too much in. I don't think people say it, dude. I really don't. But here's a cup. Here's your handle. All you got to do is start closing above that where they announce that merger. Once you do that, it's gone. I got to jump, guys. Trade to win.